Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know, today is January 23rd. We are in the dead of winter in Nebraska, and I'm bringing you a video. But it's not going to be a motovlog. And in case you want to know why, this is why. But today, as I'm sure you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be installing some Vortex Clip-ons on my CBR300. Now, I've never really done any sort of additional parts or anything on this bike just because I knew I was going to be selling it at some point. I knew I was going to be getting a 600, so I just really didn't want to spend the money to try and customize this bike all that terribly much. But I decided to splurge a little bit. I wanted to get some clip-ons just because I kind of want to experiment with them. I've been thinking about getting a set of them when I decided to do my project bike for my 600. And so I just want a little bit of experience to know how to put them on and everything like that. And obviously I'm still going to be able to ride it for a little bit once springtime hits. So I figured might as well spend about the 150 bucks and get them. And also I haven't really ever found any videos on how to install clip-ons on the CBR300. So I figured I'd help you guys out in case you have the same bike or if you want to know how to install clip-ons in general. So let's get on with the install. So this is the box that the clip-ons are going to be coming in. I got the Vortex ones. You can get ones that have risers kind of built into them. They can have like a 1-inch rise, 1.5 inches, I think, all the way up to maybe 2.5 inches. But I got the ones that don't rise at all. For CBR300s, you're going to need the 37mm fork tubes. I got the 7-degree ones, so these are actually going to be lowering my handlebars by about 2 to 2.5 inches. So when you open your box, you're going to have the actual clamps that hold the handlebars on, so these will go in your fork tubes and the bars will go inside of there. It also comes with the actual bars that will be going inside the clamps, and it comes with some plugs that will go in your bar ends. These are not weighted at any kind. They do not offer what I'm assuming is any sort of slide protection. I would imagine you can get like bar end sliders or bar end weights of some kind on these, since they are about the same size as your normal handlebars. And then they come with a couple of stickers, that way you can pay to represent their company. So now that you have seen what is in the box, let's get going on the installation. Okay, so I went ahead and I did the right side because I figured that was going to be the most difficult with trying to get the throttle tube and get the brake reservoir and all that stuff off. Really, it's not that terrible to do. The hardest part is just overall trying to get stuff to fit. So I had a little bit of an issue where the brake reservoir was actually hitting this mount right here. So it's just a little bit of trying to get everything all lined up, get everything into place, and then tightening it down. But overall, it's not that difficult, so I will show you guys how to do it on the left side. Okay, so to either get your clutch lever or your brake lever off, there's going to be two 8mm screws that will hold that little cap on. So you'll just take those off and both levers will slide off. To get your controls off, there will be two Phillips head screws in the back. Get those off, these will loosen up. So then once you get the bars off, you'll be able to slide that off along with the grip. This grip is glued on, so you'll need to shove a screwdriver inside there to loosen it up, or use a hairdryer or a heat gun or something to heat up that glue and loosen it up. On your right hand side, there will not be any glue. So once you get those screws out, your whole throttle tube and everything will slide out, which is a lot easier than this. I didn't have a bar end on that side. I don't know if it like fell off in traffic or something like that. This one, little nut on the inside kept spinning. So I had to take a drill bit and actually drill out the screw to get it out. But once you get those off, you'll be able to slide everything off. I think it is a 6 hex head in there. So you loosen that up. There's a little snap ring in here. That's really easy to take off. I just got a screwdriver. It's really flexible. It's not like you need snapping pliers or anything like that to get it off. But once you have all that loose, you can just pull the whole handlebar out, slide everything off, and then you can start working on the new one. Okay, so there will be a snap ring right here. Just gonna take a screwdriver. Like I said, it's really flexible, so it comes off pretty easy. And then now, you can just lift the old handlebar up, slide everything out, and the old handlebar is out. Okay, so one thing to note, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but that little bump right there, you will have to drill a hole in the new handlebar tube for it. The way that I went about doing that was I just held it up next to the old one. There will be a hole in there. So I just kind of line them up to make sure that I'm going to be getting in the correct position lengthwise. You don't necessarily need to be worried about where on the tube it's actually located, because you will be able to turn the handlebar tube around once it is inside of the clamp. So basically, as long as you make sure to get that within a reasonable distance on the tube, you'll be good. The big part about clip-ons is the fact that they are highly customizable and you're able to adjust things the way that you want. So if you want your controls to be a little closer, you can. That was a bit of an issue on this side because, like I said, that brake fluid reservoir was actually hitting this clamp. So, you know, as long as you get that one pretty good, you don't really necessarily need to worry about where on the tube it's located. Obviously within reason, you don't want it all the way down here because you don't want your controls down here. But, you know, it's not that big of a deal as far as where on the bar you get that hole put. Okay, so I got this one all mounted on. I got my clutch lever on there. I have it loose right now, so that way I can kind of move it up and down if I need to. I got the controls mounted on there. What you're gonna wanna make sure to do is move the handlebars from lock to lock and make sure that's not gonna hit. So I'm probably gonna have to move this one back a little bit because the clutch lever is hitting, but I still have plenty of room over here by the gas tank. So I'll tilt it in a little bit more, but you just wanna make sure that there's not gonna be any obstructions when you're moving the handlebars back and forth, because obviously if you're in a situation where you need to turn your handlebars really quick, that's gonna stop you from doing that. So once you get that all aligned, I will get the grip on, get the plugs put in the end, and I should be done. All right, so I have everything tightened up on the left-hand side. I got the grip on. I put some more glue on the inside just so the grip won't slide off once I have everything on and I'm out riding. I can definitely tell just by sitting on this that it is quite a bit lower. I want to say that it drops your handlebars by about 2 to 2.5 inches. So compared to the factory handlebars, it is definitely a more aggressive and lower riding position. Overall, it wasn't really that hard of a project to do. Probably the hardest part, like I said earlier, was getting everything to fit on the right-hand handlebar side because, like I said, that brake fluid reservoir was kind of hitting the clamp. But I want to say it took me probably about maybe an hour to an hour and a half. The only reason that it took that long is because Katie was with me and she was distracting me for part of the time. But overall, it wasn't really that hard of a project to do. So if you're looking at doing these yourself, I highly recommend it. It really wasn't that terribly difficult. I mean, I'm sure this video will probably help, kind of giving you a step-by-step guide on how to do it. But I'd say tackle the project yourself. As of right now, just from the looks of it, it's totally worth the money because, I mean, you can adjust the way that you want everything to sit on your bike. And I'm sure once I'm actually able to get out, once it's springtime and ride, I can give you guys a review video on what it's like to ride with them. But thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys later.